right, we'll get started. Thank you, Rose, for bringing your classroom into our classroom. I'm Candace Evans-Waite, originally from Buffalo Narrows, and I'm the project coordinator for the Westside Indigenous experience, which is who we're here on behalf of. We're traveling around the north for the next few days, meeting in every community, going over the idea that we're working on and trying to gain insight and perspective from other people along the way for how this will look as a big picture moving forward. So I'm going to get right to the PowerPoint. So Lynn's my clicker, my Vanna. Thank you very much. Oh, I guess before that, introductions. We'll just kind of go around the table, starting with you, Celine. Just a little bit, your name, where you're from, or who you're here on behalf, and a fun fact about yourself. I promise you don't get extra points or grades. It has to be PG rated, like I don't want you.
Could you do yours?
Okay, yeah, I'm Candace. I'm from Buffalo. And I just shared a few minutes ago, I'm a 5-year cancer survivor. I'm on 5 years cancer-free. Yay me!
I'm Celine Favreau. I'm a community economic development consultant, and I've worked on the west side since 2012. 2012. I worked for Saskatchewan Development Corporation from 2012 to 2015 as their director of economic development, and have continued to work with NWC and the Wild Rice Company and now this tourism project. So I live in Saskatoon, but I always love an opportunity to come and visit the communities on the west side.
Fun fact?
Oh, I sing, right now I'm singing in a choir in Saskatoon called Joy of Vox, and there's 200 of us in this group, so it's lots of fun.
She played the trumpet.
And the trumpet. Wow, talented.
I'm Karina Capeller. I work with Tourism Saskatchewan in the Industry Development Department. So that department is primarily located out of Saskatoon. So I live just outside of Saskatoon near Pike Lake Provincial Park. And fun fact about me, I used to be a tourism operator. My husband and I had a guest ranch business for over 15 years in the Arborfield, Carrot River, Nipawin area. So if you're familiar with the east central kind of part of the province, that's where we were located.
That's you? Yeah.
My name is Carly Primo. I'm with the ABE class next door, and we just moved back here from PA this summer, and I actually picked my first kill of blueberries this year.
Yeah.
I'm Gerald Roy. I'm actually from Island Cross. I work for the provincial government. I've been doing that for 22 years. Good work. I've worked this region from La Loche to Green Lake to Pine House since then, so different capacities and different positions. I'm part of the working group now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
We'll keep you.
I received the second Platinum Jubilee Medal for provincial contributions about 3 weeks ago.
Yay, congratulations, Gerald. Thank you.
So I'm Rose Richardson from Green Lake. I own the Keewatin Junction Station, And for many years, I had dreams and visions, including with my husband, my deceased husband, in terms of how we have to work together on the west side in terms of Highway 155, which has a lot of resources. And we lost a lot of our resources to other corporations that have come into the north, and they have uranium mines and all that, but we haven't lost our culture yet, and we haven't lost a lot of our resources. So that would mean if we're going to control anything, we have to control Highway 155, which is our corridor. And in that area, we have, it's the boreal forest, we have land, water, we have a lot of minerals yet, and we have to take advantage of that, including the fact that if we start from 155 and pick up all the little communities, we can just have a highway trail in terms of economic development going right to the north and benefiting and having something for our communities in terms of resources that we can manage and be proud of our culture, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to instill in people pride in culture and being together.
Thank you, Rose.
My name is Martina Droscher. I'm originally from Alcross. I moved here to Beauval to get out of Alcross. I go to adult 12. The only thing I do now is raise my grandchildren. I just have a 2-month-old.
Awesome.
I just paddle.
Great. Thank you, guys. What about you behind the camera?
I'm Rick LaLiberty. Right now we're working on a program called Treaty 10 News, part of our local radio station, TV station. But a fun fact about me is we hosted a music festival here for many years, probably about 13 years. We called it the CPC Jamboree. We wanted to revive it. This year was our target, but because of COVID. So next year we'd like to do it and use it as a venue to show people how to come together with this new reality of COVID and the world. But we had Buck Owens that came in, fun fact, had to share a van ride with him to the airport. And we also had Cashton. The biggest draw was probably Cashton and Doug Kershaw when they took the stage here.
What year?
94.
Okay.
And we started in 85. So if it's possible, if the tourism organization, we looked at maybe expanding it, not just a music festival, but maybe a trade show. There's opportunities to show off Lund boats, Yamaha motors, or Polaris skidoos. But if all those industries want to come show here, we can do a tent city. We could do an event here, but it's a location that we are here on. And the music festival, I guess, our strategy is to go to the other communities.
Okay.
The Jamboree used to invite people to come from all over, but it doesn't mean we couldn't take the stage to every community as well. So it's an opportunity to celebrate in Green Lake and Other Cross and Buffalo, but if we can document it as well, so it's can be shared worldwide.
For sure.
Technology nodes. But if there's any way you guys can help, we want to do a good music festival, but this trade show is the intriguing one that we would need coordination to bring industry, could be industrial stuff, forestry stuff, tourism stuff. But this is a central location and we'd offer that, but the concept of moving into the other communities is the other
idea.
opportunity.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick. I think Rose basically nailed it, and my presentation's over. No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of what Rose said is what we'll be covering. You can see our region there on the map. We do start right at Green Lake, so that is the junction. And it comes all the way through to La Loche, and then that away over there to Pine House, and all the little communities in between. It might be hard for you to see, but the ones that are in bold there are where we will be this week, throughout the week. So if you have family or friends or business owners that are along the Highway 155, we would love if they could join us for this discussion. We just want to engage and kind of share what we're doing. So the Westside Indigenous Experience Incorporated, it was an initiative built by your honor, your mayor, Nick, and as well Nap Gardner. Nap had to step out. But it's a part of the Northwest Companies Management Group. It is a nonprofit organization, started back in 2017. They've had 3 tourism symposiums since then. 1 virtual, Nick?
Yeah, the 1 virtual. I couldn't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
21.
Oh, it was? It was last? Okay. Yeah, so we've had to be creative with how we do operations now because of COVID. Virtual is one of those options. Touring, like what we're doing today and what Rick had explained, is another option. We are a board-led organization with a working committee. So some of the people that are in the room today, they've been joining us, and we've been hammering out hard how this could look, but it really is going to be based on the input from our operators in the region and the opportunity for new experiences. What we're doing is providing the framework that supports the current and emerging tourism operations, including, like, people think tourism is you're going somewhere. Well, it includes the feeling of what it is when you're there. So that could include arts and crafts, culture and events, either indoor, outdoors, and of course, our biggest resource, which is our land. So land-based experiences. Thanks, you can.
Give me the idea. We've had multiple inquiries throughout the years for people to do something as simple as even saying, we're bringing up a group of quatters. Is there anybody in the region who would take us through your trails? Because obviously they're not from here, right? So they want to know just how to get around. What are some places to see? And if you're a quatter from Beauval, you know that there's the A, the I, the E, the O, the Y, but there's no A. Sorry, there's an E, there's an I, there's an O, and a Y. Anyways, that's what they label them all in there.
Okay, so they're labeled trails.
Yeah, they're labeled spots.
Okay.
Spot to this spot, and then there's every spot is equipped with a pit for starting a campfire and some homemade benches.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you could just, and a lot of them they're what they refer to as trail riding trails. They're not muddy, they're not bumpy, they're not crazy. They're just, if you want to go out and enjoy your ride, that's what they're there for. They're not, if you go to Buffalo, and I know they're mud bumpy.
Yeah. There if you want to get stuck trails.
Yeah, if you want to get stuck, but make sure you have a winch and some emergency supplies.
You bet.
But yeah, even that's an opportunity for somebody to be, and this is what we're hoping to establish through this Indigenous experience, is having a list of people we can call on. So if you are a good avid quatter, we'd say, oh yeah, I know somebody who can take you to the trails. You don't need to be a business or an entrepreneur. You just need to be able to get actively involved.
Or if somebody comes and they want to go blueberry picking and you guys are willing to share your secret spot.
Nobody.
Just never know. It's just a quick plug. Everyone's keeping their blueberry spot to themselves.
There's a good story behind the blueberry thing. The fella from Alabama tried to go to the West Coast to go pick up his daughter from Gold Eagle training.
Yep.
On his way back, he stopped around the mountains in Alberta, and they had a smoke and taking the scenery. And some folks from Germany there. So they started talking. He said, "Oh, I like to pick berries from berries on my spare time." So we told him where he's from, left him his phone number and whatnot. A few days later, those guys came to Alabama to go pick berries with him.
Wow. Yeah, you never know.
I was just going to raise the point of but Meadow Lake didn't want it, so the Blueberry Festival is in St. Walburg every year. Now we're the exact location where to set up a Blueberry Festival, a Cranberry Festival, and, you know, a bog festival where you bring the people in. You don't have to tell them what the trails are like. If they get stuck in the bog, then you have a 3-day celebration.
And there's lots of berries to eat, right? We'll survive.
Something you won't survive.
Yeah. Basically, there's a lot of opportunity in our region. A lot of it is untapped. Some people are sitting at home right now with like the best idea, and they're just not sure what to do with it. So the historical and natural significance of the Northwest, like I said, is untapped, and the potential.
Industry taking place in the north, and we're all still poor.
Aha. Yep. So along with this opportunity, we know we're going to have to support it somehow with training opportunities and the development of the new experience, the getting outside the box, right? You love skidooing. You might want to tour, you know, a group that's coming and doesn't know the area. So those are just some of the ideas. You can switch her up. So the goals of this project, I guess it's been an ongoing process for the last few years of applying for funding and support from outside, and now we have some and we've nailed down the goals of this project. Number one, obviously, is to increase the revenue for operators in the region. Majority of them are local, and so obviously we want to keep that money coming in and staying local. The expansion of the existing tourism, so those complementary ideas that we said, now that the tourists are coming, what else can we offer them now that they're here? The opportunities for the new operators. Identify investment opportunities in Northwest Sask communities. So some communities have economic development corporations. You know, how can we work with them to keep the revenues in our communities? Other things we'd have to consider is the hospitality training and employment opportunities for residents. So hiring local, bringing training, like, you know, your classroom's just behind that wall, where we are training our own to work here and stay here. And obviously to increase the visitors' money, we want them to spend more once they're here, buying our gas and groceries and so on and so forth. So moving forward in the communities, this is kind of just that gentle reminder to make those visitors feel welcome when they're here. We're not sure, you know, if they're here on business or pleasure, but just putting your best foot forward and just welcoming them as they come. To continue to provide amenities and services, you know, opening up your doors and restaurants and businesses to help them with their needs. Encourage the community-based volunteerism, such as hosting events. We know that takes a lot of human resources, and so if you have the time to volunteer, support that. Go on from here, share the ideas of what we're trying to do, so that it's not staying here. Thank you, Rick. That will be on the YouTube. I can tell my kids I'm YouTube famous after today. They won't be very impressed, but so going and sharing the benefits of tourism, because we know that the tourists are coming, and so, you know, we need to talk about how to keep it on, you know, moving forward and getting progression. And ensure that our tourism industry is focusing on hiring locals, and, you know, opening up that job bank, and support the existing enterprises that are already here, the operators who have been here before us, and inviting new ones. Next, Vanna. There's a ton of data that's out there saying that domestic travelers, as well as, and mostly international travelers, want the authentic Indigenous experience. That doesn't mean we have to wear a costume and jig around or what have you. It's coming and doing things that we naturally do as Métis or First Nations people living in our region, sharing our culture with them once they're here. So with coordination with government and communities and operators and locals, how we can incorporate our culture into the tourist experience. So I shared a picture of some birch bark. This is by a fellow in Buffalo. He low-key is like one of the most talented. He makes, I think he said 50 different birch bark items. And I did take a session with him where I made a birch bark canoe. Never would I thought I could have done that. I always thought, that's too hard. You have to be super talented and on and on. Hearing his story and him sharing his talents, I was really happy that I worked with the birch bark, which is a difficult medium, but I wanted to just showcase, some of the things that we have in our region that we don't even know exists. Yep. So on the Westside Indigenous experience, we are acting as a partner and as a resource to these different tourism entities, including Tourism Saskatchewan, which is a really great support. ITAC, which is the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada. If you are an operator or know an operator, become a member of ITAC. They have a huge marketing strategy, and they market to a lot of those international travelers, coming from Norway and Germany, and they want to look and see, what can I do in Beauval? And if you're a member, your business pops up and you're able to get some customers that way. So right now we're creating that communication strategy with your contacts. We might send you an email or a newsletter just about what's happening after this meeting, because this is just one of many. And then in the spring or summer of 2023, we plan to have a tourism symposium in person, probably in this area. So those were just the steps we're taking. Right now we're right at the top in that blue circle to engage with communities. From there, we're going to develop the work that we need these consultants to come. So as an operator, we might put you in touch with who we hire. Then we'll develop that strategy with those professionals that work with tourism. And then again, coming back to how we could support the operator. What do you need help with? Do you want to expand your business? Do you want to try something different? And then the green is ultimately where we want to be, which is to market our region as a whole so that it's benefiting all of the communities down Highway 155.
The idea for this project, I guess specifically, if I'm not mistaken, is to come up with at least one package by the end of the deal, right?
You bet.
What that means is that, just as Candace was saying, is that if somebody from Japan or Germany looked online and says, I want to go to North America or Canada, have one unique Indigenous experience in tourism, it's not just going to be, I'm going to Beauval for a week and then I'm going home. No, it's what can we do to take you from Green Lake to Beauval to Isle Cost of Buffalo to La Loche and all the little perks in between, right? And it's one package, because these guys pay good money to come to Canada and experience certain things, and we want to be able to put one solid package together. And what that's going to need is an operator from or operators from each area to give them a unique experience. Some examples of what we did just to sort of toy around with the idea of the symposium. What year was that? In 2019. After the symposium we had in Green Lake, we invited some of the people who actually were kind of tourists, but from the province or from Alberta, to come to Beauval to experience getting picked up, taken to the river, jumping on a pontoon boat, going up the river and learning about the history of the riverway, the Fort Black Trail, the fishing, the mission meet our station, just as you boat up the hill, it just seems common to us. Oh yeah, yeah, we heard about that years ago. But for somebody who's not from here, it's probably like, whoa, like all this rich history. And then not only that, we went around the bend just as we reached the Isle Cross Lake, and we took them to the beach, got them off, and they went to go set a net. We brought the fish that they caught back, we filleted right on the beach, fried it up, and we had a fish fry. Even that in itself, which is just what we do on a Monday, is an amazing experience for somebody from somewhere else. And that's what we gotta think outside of our brains and think, what would it be like from the outside looking in? See, we've all had experiences. You guys went to Regina, Saskatoon, Battleford Pork Festival, or some sort of I don't know if you ever went to Rose's St. Walbert Blueberry Festival, but even that in itself is an experience. So like we gotta think stuff that we consider a day-to-day or something we take for granted as an experience for somebody else. So that's really what we're trying to capture here. So don't think of yourself as, oh, this doesn't apply to me. It absolutely applies to you. You guys live here. You guys experience northern Saskatchewan, so you have something to share. And so with that, you can always put your name forward to say, my goodness, I can take you on many blueberry adventures. I can take you clogging. I can take you skidooing. I know the trails. I know this place like the back of my head. Well, you're a valuable asset in our minds. Basically.
You bet. Thank you, Nick. So next, I guess does anybody have any questions or comments? You got a duck? Thank you for coming, Gerald. Yep, one of our other communities.
I really like the idea of tying everything in, like even when Rick talks about the music, you know, have that all along the trail, utilizing local people. They're so talented, you know, they're good musicians. You know, they never went to music school or anything, and yet they play the fiddle and
Yeah.
everything they learned on their own.
Yeah.
You know, utilize those, bring in other people, and take them along the tour.
Yeah, I think the opportunities are endless for sure. Next up, I'm inviting Karina to take the floor.
Like, oh, we're in trouble already. All right, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Karina Capeller, and I work with Tourism Saskatchewan in the Industry Development Department. And that department is primarily responsible for helping existing tourism businesses thrive. So that means different things to different businesses. Some businesses need completely different supports than others. And I often say sometimes we're really good at offering that support, and then sometimes we really suck at it because we don't have answers for every problem that's out there, but we are also always looking for gaps in our services and trying to fill those gaps to meet the needs of our industry across the province. I was asked to talk today a little bit about the supports that we have for business operators and new businesses in the province around development, but not only development, as well as our marketing. So I will do that a little bit today. First of all, I want to start with our vision and our mission statement because that's really what guides us as far as what we want to do. So we're really looking to see more of a vibrant, entrepreneurial tourism industry. We want more year-round, compelling Saskatchewan experiences. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's one of their. I think it looks like it's one of their bog trails. Yeah.
There's a glacial lake along that.
Yeah. And our mission revolves around connecting people with quality experiences and advancing our tourism industry. So 10 years ago, you're gonna have to keep clicking on these stupid things. 10 years ago in 1990, well, I guess it's more than 10 years ago now. Or no, not 10 years ago. 1999, we released a 10-year destination development strategy for the province. And that strategy left us with 4 fairly clear goals, and that is to strengthen the product base and the global positioning of Saskatchewan through innovative product and visitor experience development. So basically that means get some great experiences and services that people from across the world want to come to Saskatchewan to see and do. We want to increase our revenue year over year by attracting new markets and increasing the length of stay and generating a greater level of return from each person that comes to the province or travels within the province. We want to reduce seasonality and spread the economic benefit of tourism across the province through growth, strategic growth. And we want to raise the awareness of the significance of tourism by heightening the focus on its economic development or economic and cultural value. So, you know, a lot of big high sky thinking there, but in the end, what it came down to with our strategy, they pretty much told us that if we want to move tourism forward in the province, we have to start developing more hands-on, immersive, authentic experiences, things that people can do that only Saskatchewan people can deliver. So, where are we now? It's not going to advance? We're stuck. So when I talk about advancing experience development, we want, like I said, more hands-on immersive experiences. Not things like those days of people getting on a bus and getting dropped off in front of some attraction or something and someone yakking at them for an hour and then they get back on the bus and they go to the next place. Those days are pretty much over. People now want to become immersed in the culture of where they are in the destination. They want to learn about people, why they do the things they do, why they live there, how they do things. They just want to learn to be what it means to be a local in the destination that they're at. So we have a few different specialty markets that we're really interested in developing. Those are birding, so anybody who knows a lot about birds in any aspect. Wilderness wellness, which is anything from forest bathing to yoga in a park. So outdoor wellness experiences. Astrotourism, which is anything to do with skies. So aurora, northern lights viewing, stargazing, anything like that. Something to do with the skies. Snowmobiling is another one. Agritourism, that especially if it has a culinary or a food aspect with it, as well as Indigenous. Indigenous is a big one, and that's why we're here to support this project that you've got going on in the Northwest. So we have a few programs that are specifically designed to help people develop new experiences. Achieving Awesome is a new program that we've just developed in the last couple of years, and it is a program that takes people that have never really dabbled in tourism development or tourism experiences before. It takes them through right from having an idea. So someone will come to us and say, you know, I kind of have this idea that I'd like to have people come to my area and I'd like to take them out and do some education around the plants that are in the area and how you can utilize some of those plants to make a meal, right? But they're like, I don't know where to start with that. So they come to us and we put them through the program, and it takes them just from that idea through the various steps of designing and crafting that experience, plus costing and pricing of it, because we don't want people to do this for free. The entire reason we do this is to bring more revenue into our communities and our province. And then we help them get into testing it. So you go out and you test it with a live audience to make sure that you don't have any major bumps or hurdles. And then you get some great feedback as well from people that would be part of that testing or that piloting as to how you can improve that experience and maybe even what you better not change, what is really great about it. And then we help them get it into market. So we have some photography and videography that we bring in and help document that. So when the new experience provider is ready to take it into market, they actually have a small content library that they can utilize to sell it online through social channels or whatever.
It has to be developed so you make a profit.
Absolutely.
That can be your living.
Yep.
Because I work with scientists and doctors from Germany they'd come in and I'd be their teacher, and I'd go to Germany and find out that a lot of the plant medicines that we use
Yes.
were the same. Only thing in China and in England and those places I went, they just had a different name
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was the same plant, and it was, you know, only we used it for one purpose, like chaga. That's what they use in Russia. We used it for years, but we called it osaga. You
Yeah.
know? And in different areas they use it for different things, but we used it for cancer also.
Yeah.
But we didn't advertise it, you know. But there has to be some way that people can make a living. Like, I didn't want to work anymore, have another job, just to go out and teach those skills. You know, I shouldn't have to work to subsidize it, because that's what the Creator gave us
Yeah.
as our means of support.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's the nice thing about being a quote unquote experience provider, is that you get to decide all the shots, right? Like, you decide when you're going to deliver, where you're going to deliver it, how you're going to deliver it. Like, if you decide that this thing that I want to share with the rest of the world is I can only do it Thursday nights in the month of August from 7 to 9, that's the only time it's sold. You don't have to have a storefront. You don't have to be there 9 to 5. It's just, it could be like you were saying, it could be a complete, all your revenue for a year, or it could just be an add-on to something that you already know or something that you're doing. It just gives you a new revenue stream to bring into your family to help support you. Another one of the, and that I wanted to mention that program that I was just talking about, the Achieving Awesome, that is free. A lot of it is online. Not all, but a lot of it is online. Some of it is kind of, you learn online by yourself, but then we also bring the group together that's going through the program, through Zoom calls and things like that. So there's some interaction and networking with these people, and they get to know one another and they bounce ideas off of one another. So I'm not sure when the next intake for that program will be, but I can definitely keep you guys updated. The other one is the Awesome Experience Design Studio. That is an online development program where it walks you through the initial stages of crafting and designing your experience. It's actually step 1 in the Achieving Awesome program that I had mentioned earlier. Are we working now? We are. Good. We also have funding programs. Our development program for business operators, tourism operators, is called the Diversification funding program. And that program helps people that are already in the industry and delivering some sort of service or experience, get into a new market or offer something different. It can't be, I've got 5 cabins and I need to fix the roof, so I'm going to get some money to fix the roof. You've got to be looking at offering something new to get someone different. So that's what diversification is all about. It's not continuing to service the same clients that you've already had. It's for new. So you can get up to $40,000. $30,000 is kind of the lower end, but you can get up to $40,000 depending on what stream it is. There's 3 streams, and you have to have a 30% equity of the investment of the project on your own. You should have a business plan and business financials, like a profit loss statement. And we are opening a new intake for that program November 1st, and it'll run to December 15th, I believe. The Marketing and Event Partnership Program, we call that MEP. Everything's an acronym in tourism. So the Marketing and Event Partnership Program is actually that. So once you're ready to market your business or your tourism experience or product, you can get up to $15,000 to help you market that to the general public and try and garner some visitation. You should have a marketing plan. You don't have to have a marketing plan. You're going to get more money if you do. But you can do everything from building a website, improving a website, doing digital marketing on social media platforms. You can hire travel influencers. So a travel influencer is someone who travels around, has a great following on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or all those kinds of things, and they travel around and they do things, and then they post photos and videos and written blogs about their experiences to their audience. And you can get support to bring those types of people in through the Marketing and Event Partnership Program. You can also do market research projects. So if you're not sure who your market might be for something that you're wanting to offer and how best to reach them, you can actually get money to hire a company to help you figure all that out. And you can also get money to go to trade shows and marketplaces. So yeah, they just closed that program intake about 2 weeks ago now, and I think then the next one will probably open up in the new year for a new intake. It's application based. You have to fill out an application to do it. It's all online, and we do offer some supports if you're having trouble with that online application.
Do you have to be a business, or do you have to register with Saskatchewan in order to participate?
No, you don't have to be a quote-unquote business. You should be registered with the province. We have experienced providers who are not like a business per se.
Declare themselves sort of as self-employed.
Yeah. So typically they want you to be, at least registered with the province in some capacity. But we have organizations who apply to that because they have events or something that they're applying to promote. So.
Themselves, are they direct billed to your vendors, or is it more?
No, once you get approved for the funding, then it's up to you to action what you had applied for. They send you money to work with, so you don't have to pay for stuff and then get reimbursed. They'll send you a bunch of the funding that you're approved for up front, and then they hold back a small bit of it until you're done and you do some reporting and kind of prove that you've done some things. So. Other supports that we have an online business development and finance guide. So that walks you through, regulations and how you should check with your municipality and the province to make sure, you've got different types of permits, and, it walks you through basically building a business if you so choose to, and how you might be able to obtain financing. It's an online kind of a guide, walkthrough, and it should take you only about a couple hours to get through the content of it. STEC, which is our Tourism and Education Council, has a number of different types of training for tourism businesses, and that's everything from customer service training, like Service Best. There too, that is online, or it can be housed, or it can be offered in a community like Beauval. You pull together, 10, 15 people from the service industry. Typically it's for frontline staff, so somebody working at a coffee shop, somebody working at the gas station, people that directly engage with the traveling public. You can do it online for $30 whenever it suits you, or you can do, like I said, an in-house workshop where you bring a whole bunch of people from a community or a region together to do it. It's a little bit more expensive because you have to pay for the facilitators to come and deliver, and then you also have to, have a venue, some food, and that kind of thing for the people at the workshop. So it can be a little bit more costly to do it that way. The other thing that I think might be beneficial to the region and some of the businesses here is the heritage interpreter training. And that basically, I know when people hear heritage, they think right away, it has to do with telling a history of something. Not necessarily. This program is really designed to help people who are going to be dealing directly with the traveling public to do something, some kind of an experience or tour or whatever. It helps that person craft and learn to deliver their story, basically. So we all have a story to tell, and we all have a story to share. and especially the people who are directly involved with working with the traveling public. Like I said earlier, they want to know about the people that are here and why they live here and why they do the things they do. So you need to learn to be able to tell your story, and that program will do that. That is not an online program. That is an in-house 3-day workshop. So it is quite a commitment, but we've ran it. They had it years ago, and then they revamped it just recently to suit more of a new audience, like people who are new to the industry rather than people that have been in the industry for a while. And we delivered that at the beginning of October to a group of individuals that were that are a bunch of new experience providers in Saskatoon. And the feedback that we got around that was really, really good. We have been able to train and engage an Indigenous facilitator to actually deliver that. And we find that when we deliver that in Indigenous communities, that they very much like the fact that the person that is talking to them and teaching them how to do this is an Indigenous person. So that's a great asset that they've got for that program.
The last time they were here was in 2018, I think.
To do
their is it a 3-month program, I think? 3 months?
Oh, you're talking Ready to Work?
Yeah, the Ready to Work program.
Yeah, the Ready to Work program actually has been in the region lots. They're actually delivering right now up in Beauval.
It's almost like a 5-year cycle. I remember
Yeah.
working for Kansas, I had to help manage some of those contracts through STEC and just, doing the action planning with a lot of those
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
But the last time they were here, the reason we had asked Lynn to bring it up to the region was because we were in the works to purchase a tourism vendor here in Edward Launch. And one of the things they were actually ready to do was to teach not the cooks how to work in a commercial kitchen, but to work on a campfire setting.
Yep.
So if you're out doing a cabin thing and you're entertaining guests from around the world, your only kitchen is your camp cook, right? Your fireplace, and so you have to learn how to prep foods, cook to food safe levels, and prepare it, dish it out to the client out in a camp, for example. And I mean, you're literally building a fire to cook for them. It was really interesting. That would have been the program back then, but we just could not secure the resources to do it in a mock setting. Even we didn't have an outdoor camp place or even a real camp vendor who would host us.
Yeah.
But it's still a possibility to have that up here because that
It is.
an asset. So
Yeah.
we ended up using our commercial kitchen here and did the commercial kitchen bistro.
Yeah, more of the cooking end of it. Yeah.
End of it,
Yeah.
But we would love to have it again sometime in the near future to find that and to build maybe our own camp cooking, whether maybe we're using South Bay or something as a stage
Yeah.
setting for that.
Yeah, like I said, that right now they're up at Buffalo delivering that program. So I'm not an expert on Ready to Work, but my understanding of Ready to Work is that they take youth, typically, that are either unemployable or hard to employ, and they get them ready to get into the tourism industry in some aspect. And it usually has a theme to it, like you were saying, but sometimes it's housekeeping, sometimes it's front desk agents that but they'll also help you with writing resumes and preparing for interviews and all those kinds of things. So they get people ready to work in the tourism industry.
Even though it's like hospitality stuff, it really had springboarded a lot of people's careers, I guess, at that point. You guys would know them. They actually work in town. The ones who took the course back in, I want to say again, 2018, was names like Siobhan DeRocher. Obviously, she works at the daycare now, but she used to work for the kitchen here as well. There was Renelle Hansen, who ended up owning her own food trailer there for a while, but now lives in Meadow Lake taking schooling or something. And so, there's so many names who have gone through this program who you don't necessarily need to work in that industry, but it definitely gets you that experience and it gets you into different
For sure.
mindsets.
Yeah, and I guess one point also is to be aware of health regulations because there's so many rules in terms of cooking while you have to buy certified stuff and I see that they've been even doing that to First Nations where they have to be approved
Yep.
I got that complaint last year. I'm not even involved in it. Somebody brought me that complaint that they had to follow health regulations even though they were on it.
Well, that's part of the nice thing with NAP and his work through NWC, through the Wild Rice Company. They're trying to start their own wild rice processing facility. And with that, you can also further take it another step and do it as a food processing facility. Obviously, we have the fish plant now across. The more we start to do that, we can do a lot of the certification here. The fish that comes out of the fish plant now across and the wild rice that now comes out of the wild rice processing is all certified. It's ready to go. It's ready to put on the shelves. It's ready to go into the freezers at the co-ops. It's ready to buy. We buy a bulk of our fish from the fish plant and it comes here. We're able to use it and cook it because it's certified.
Yeah, we have to be able to do that with moose meat and beaver tail.
Or even bison, if you're on a bison farm. We've talked about this, we joked about it at first, but then we're talking about maybe we should revitalize it. Once upon a time, if you guys remember, there was a bison farm just south of Beauval here. And that's it, just said it has to be in a regulated zone. So there's nothing you can't say that you can't have your own farm and get it inspected and go through the motions and get it certified.
I mean, when I had the restaurant going, I ended up having rhubarb pie, and one of the health inspectors said, "Oh, where'd you get your rhubarb? From a garden, you know?" And she said, "No, you have to buy it from the store." So I packed up my rhubarb, went and sold it to the co-op.
Now that's innovative.
No, but that's one of the biggest lies that they'll tell you is that has to be bought from the store. In fact, we have our market garden here, well, our community garden. And, well, no, when they were here, we had Marie Gray who was helping us start our garden. The health inspector was here saying, where do you get, like, we were hosting our romaine lettuce, our tomatoes and stuff were all here in the fridge. And she was saying, I hope you guys don't plan on using that in your kitchen. And Murray just happened to be here in Easter. Oh, he gave it to that health inspector. Who's to say you can't certify that? That's organically grown, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So yeah, we had one of the specials that afternoon was to be a Mandarin Japanese salad. And we made it and we served it with using our romaine lettuce from the garden and our own tomatoes. And of course we have to get our Mandarin oranges from the store. I mean, it was just, having our own stuff and vinaigrette and everything, but we used some community garden stuff, so you could have used your own grown stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like we're out in the bush harvesting it, it was grown in right in their own grow tunnel.
Regulations, they say, it has to be purchased,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
from a
head
vendor,
guy
right.
was there, so.
But the market
He said,
garden
"No,
is
you
across.
don't
The
have
other thing with the wild rice, like, too, is that we've talked about if we set up a processing facility at the Forks, then it's seasonal, so we could incorporate other products coming out of the forest to be processed there, like you say, or even out of the market gardens in the region. Bring it in there, process it and package it so that we can use it in our local kitchens and businesses.
So when that health inspector said that to me, I said, for Pete's sakes, decolonize yourself. You come from a colonized area yourself.
Yeah, a lot of the health inspectors we've been getting are actually foreign. One from Ukraine, one from wherever.
I said, you come from a depressed country. You can decolonize yourself. Decolonize yourself.
It's called local food production.
Yeah.
It's called local food supply.
Yeah.
So on another thing that we have for supports that when you're talking about events and things is we've got a program called Organizing Special Events, and that's another online course. It costs $30. It takes like 2 or 3 hours to complete, but it's got 7 modules that it starts with getting your event off the ground. And it'll take you through, the 7 modules will take you through all the different aspects of actually making sure that you organize an event that is going to go off without a hitch. So marketing and promotions, fundraising for your event, event logistics, HR management for your event, financial management and risk management are some of the modules. And like I said, $30 and you can download the whole toolkit and you can share it and work with it at a community level or a committee level if you so choose.
So that's like self-register on the...
Yeah, it's on our LMS. I can share that information. Yeah. And then lastly, we have a relationship with a developer of a program specifically for the development of businesses into the hospitality and tourism sector, and it's called Fire Circle. So it's an online platform that you go through, and it walks you through every aspect of thinking about how to build a business or how to improve a business in the tourism and hospitality sector. So we, as Tourism Saskatchewan, have a relationship with the developer of that. We often, when people come to us with a startup idea, we will offer them that. We'll pay for their subscription to that platform, and then sometimes also maybe negotiate some one-on-one coaching with the developer because they've got excellent long-term experience in this type of development in the tourism industry. But you can also get that support through ITAC because they just recently have gotten a long-term contract with Fire Circle as well to offer that to Indigenous groups and businesses across the country. So that by no means is an exhaustive list of the supports and programs that we have at Tourism Saskatchewan. I could probably stand up here for a day and tell you about all the things that we have, and I'm not going to do that because it's going to be really boring. But if you ever have questions or needs or think, geez, if I could only have this, I would be able to move my business idea forward, please contact me and we'll see if we can kind of marry you up with some customized supports.